Emergency services in Gauteng, though, also remain on high alert as more rain is expected in this province. Many areas have been flooded with persistent rain the last few days. A number of people have been displaced and infrastructure has been damaged, with several roads also being closed. Many residents in Gauteng have also been left without electricity. City Power says it's battling with a backlog of calls and inquiries. Let's get an update now with our reporter Manqoba Mchunu, who is in Johannesburg. Manqoba, Aisha has given us a picture of quite a lot of people who will possibly spend Christmas, homeless. How's it looking in the areas in Johannesburg that you've visited?
Well, Masiko, not good at all. I can tell you that. I can say that many people are worried. The people that we spoke to, Masiko, telling us that, every time it rains now, they fear for their safety because they don't know what's going to happen. And these are people that are staying in low-lying areas, areas like Soweto, in Kliptown, people that are staying in Protea, saying that, they don't sleep at night when there's rain because they fear that anything could happen. But Masiko, we're seeing quite a lot of destruction. We know, of course, that a lot of people have been displaced. Over 339 people, I think, Masiko, that was the number that was given by officials, the number of people that have been affected by this particular flood. But over 200 structures that have been destroyed, that have been affected, and these are, informal settlements. These are houses where people were residing, and so that gives you a sense of just the devastation that has been caused by the heavy rains here in Johannesburg. And of course, today has been no different. We saw heavy downpours again here in Johannesburg, but also the scale of destruction of infrastructure here in the province. That's something that's concerning authorities. I'm here at one of the sites at Hendrik Potgieter Road where there's been a collapse. Basically, the road is caved in. Masiko, I want to show you what it looks like, and this is what it currently looks like. That's the section of the road, two of those lanes that have collapsed here on Hendrik Potgieter Road following those floods. Of course, we did see, Masiko, quite a number of streets here in Johannesburg that have collapsed. Some of them have sinkholes that have opened due to the flooding that had occurred in this particular area. And the MEC of transport is here on the ground to assess the situation. We know that many of those roads have been closed, Masiko. Traffic is being diverted to other roads that they can use to avoid them using these particular areas because they've been deemed dangerous due to the fact that these persistent rains have caused these damages on the roads. But also in terms of infrastructure itself, Masiko, we know that electrical cables were severed. We know that City Power is still scrambling, trying to fix some of those issues. They had about 5,000 calls, I think they said, just yesterday alone, Masiko, attending to some of those issues. But I want to bring in the MEC of Transport, Kidibone Diale Tlhabane, just to give us a sense of what you've seen here on the ground. MEC, thank you very much for your time. Of course, you are here on the ground. You've seen what's happening here. Are you concerned?
Very concerned. This is one of the things that we could not do anything about it. You can see it's a natural disaster. We are concerned, and our team has been working around the clock since this happened, and we are comforted. At least we have a contractor on site, and the engineers have done the specifications of what needs to happen, and we will be working here 24 hours, 7 days a week, in making sure that we rehabilitate what has happened, and we plead with communities not to come around this area. It's really not safe, and our teams will be working here for the next conservatively 8 months just to make sure that we rehabilitate this bridge.
Of course, this
also, as part of the safety measures we've put in, you can see just at that robot we have diverted traffic to that side, and there's another bridge and that is a Johannesburg road, agency road, and we are trying to avoid that, the trucks passing over to that bridge, because the trucks are heavy and we are not sure of the structural arrangement of that bridge. So we are trying to make sure that the trucks use other roads to avoid another disaster. But we on course, and I think we trust that the teams and the service providers appointed here will be able to finish the work on time.
Are there any particular timelines at this time, given that this is one of the busy roads that is being used? Is there any timeline as to when perhaps you might be able to fix this road?
We plead with communities to bear with us. You can see, I'm not an engineer, but as per their advice, this will take us 6 to 8 months to fix, and we will be closing this part of the road for that period, and we plead with communities to bear with us, and otherwise we'll have more disasters.
Of course, MEC, we know this is not the only road that has been affected. There are quite a number of them here in the Roodepoort area as well as Soweto. What do we know so far about some of those roads? How many of them, to be exact, that have been affected?
You'll understand that the road networks that we have in Gauteng, some are our responsibility as a provincial government, some are a responsibility of municipalities as well as the national government. So where it's us, like in this case, we rush and ensure that we assist our communities. And what we can plead with communities, these are natural disasters, it's things that we did not plan for, but at least we are trying hard to work around the clock, that we ensure that the safety on our roads, to ensure that we respond speedily to the challenge that is imposed on us by the natural disasters. So surely when engineers say to me, MEC, it's a process that can take us 6 to 8 months, I conservatively say 6 to 9 months, so that we make sure that they do quality job at the end of the day.
Are you concerned, though? We're seeing again the rainfall. You know, the persistent rain is continuing here in the Gauteng province. Is this something that's worrying you?
Rain is rain. And that's why we will plead with communities to really take care of themselves. It's a natural thing, and we can't say rain stop, because we need it. And you can see some of the road infrastructures are as old as 100 years and more. And those are the things that I think, as part of preparing ourselves adequately for these disasters, we'll need to work closely with engineers and look into our road networks and check and prepare for some of these natural disasters that we are faced with.
And one of the issues that has been raised is around, stormwater drainage system that seem not to be working in some of the areas. Is this something that perhaps you are looking into as well?
Yes, the teams within the roads branch in our department are looking into that. Like I said, the road network in Gauteng, it's a responsibility of all the spheres of government. We have our own provincial roads. We are trying hard to deal with challenges of the stormwater drainage. We have already now appointed what we call RIFSA 1, RIFSA 2 contractors that are responsible for all the 5 regions to ensure road maintenance. And surely those are some of the things that we will be looking into, and ensure that while we deal with issues of road construction and issues of road maintenance, we also look at the stormwater drainage. And it's another issue of intergovernmental relations. You'll see that in some instances we need the buy-in of Department of Water and Sanitation. We also need the buy-in of local municipalities and local government. And to an extent, we have, as a provincial government, initiated what we call a memorandum of understandings, so that as per section 154 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, we are able to support municipalities where they cannot handle the burden. So we are also calling upon municipalities that have not signed the MOU to also sign, because this is not about ourselves as government, but it's about the people of Gauteng, and we're trying hard through our roads maintenance and road construction to ensure that our roads are safe and our people are able to travel freely in the province to where they want.
Well, that was the MEC of Transport here in Gauteng, just giving a bit of an update as far as this is concerned, saying that engineers are already here on the site to assess the situation. Of course, it's not only the responsibility of provincial government, but also we know that the municipality as well as national government will also have to step in on some of the roads that have been destroyed by this particular flood. But Masego, I can tell you that there's a bit of concern as far as the rains are concerned. The fact that this whole week there's been rains that have been predicted in Johannesburg, and of course this is something that authorities will be looking into. We know that emergency services are also on high alert. They've issued warnings to those people living in low-lying areas to say that they need to be vigilant at all time, and they will ensure that their teams are monitoring those particular areas to ensure that they're able to step in when needed.